Welcome back to Bashford, episode 102 of Notorious Pro Wrestling, the TEW Let's Play series where we find out what exactly would happen if Conor McGregor started his own wrestling promotion. The last time you guys were here, it was a RevPro episode where we were continuing the Great British Tag League Tournament of 2023. But I'm not going to review that because that is 4 episodes worth of tapings. But before that, it was a Notorious episode back on May week 4. So you have missed 1 week of Wanted. So let's take a look at what you have missed. We started off with a Kings versus Kings match. Kings of Wrestling versus Kings of the North, where Kings of Wrestling won in a very good 65 rated match. Post-match then, the Prestige came out, as the two teams were shaking hands and were like, well, now we don't want none of this respectful bullshit in our company. Claudio got on the mic and said he still hasn't forgiven the Prestige for putting him through a table all those months ago before the P12 final. And as the two teams are arguing, CCK attack the Prestige from behind. They are currently feuding with the Prestige on the ramp. There's a big brawl and Nick Aldis's fancy suit gets ruined, and that will tie into a later segment. Then in a backstage angle, Conor McGregor informs Marley Quinn, due to Maki Ito being MIA since dropping the title, Raven Creed is the new #1 contender, and Marley is very okay with this as she has a bone to pick with Raven Creed. Raven has been targeting Marley's friend, Crazy Mary Dobson, including attacking her post-match twice, so Marley's looking to get a little bit of revenge. Next up then, we had Davey Boy Smith defeat Kenny Williams in a 61 rated match. Post-match, Kip Sabian comes out and mocks Miles Kamen. And then, as I promised, Nick Aldis is backstage with the rest of the Prestige and he's furious that his suit got ripped during the fracas with CCK. And he's going to do Easton Reese a favour tonight and whip Jonathan Grisham's ass in the main event. Next up then, Raven Creed defeats Rachel Ellering in an okay match, 49. And post-match then, Mad Marley Quinn tries to attack Raven Creed, but Jake the Snake and Sonico are able to pull her out of harm's way before Marley can get her hands on Raven. And in our main event, Nick Aldis is able to defeat Jonathan Grisham after Easton Reese spears Grisham mid-match, allowing Aldis to get the cheap victory. And that was a 69, very good match. All in all, the show was a 72, which is very good. Very, very good. So we do have a fair bit of news actually to discuss this time around. Let's start with something a little further away from home. AEW had their Double or Nothing pay-per-view. Normally I wouldn't look at AEW, but it is kind of the WrestleMania, so I thought it'd be worth checking in. 80, which is, it's good, it's very good, but it could have been a lot better judging by the scores. So let's just skip over all of the pre-show stuff, no one cares. So MJF and the Hybrid 2 defeated Matt Sydal and Private Party in an 80 rated match. Ronda Rousey defeated Mel and Serena Deeb. Oh, the state of this AEW's women division. In a 74 rated match, how did that break down? Mel had a 48. Why was she even in the match? Serena 56 and Ronda an 83. Literally, it was just Ronda's overness that got them a 74. Hikaru Shida defeated Chris Statlander, and yet neither of them were in the title. Never mind, moving on. FTR defeated Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks in a cage match. That would be a belter, and it was, 87. Kenny Omega defeated Dante Martin at 85. Yeah, Kenny Omega just pulled a big match out of him. Seems weird. Darby Allin defeated Adam Page and Pac in a 90. Proud and Powerful defeated the Lucha Bros for the tag title, to retain the tag title, sorry. Moxley defeated Jericho in a cage match for the TNT Championship. And Cody Rhodes defeated Randy Orton. I forgot Randy Orton's in AEW. I forgot about that. In a cage match. Is that 3 cage matches on this card? Cody cage match, and wasn't the cage match. Someone needs to sort this out. That is, I got an 80. Yep, sure. That's a good win from Darby. It's a very good win from Darby. And yeah, I completely forgot Randy Orton is currently in AEW. That's still kind of cool. And still can go. 82 is not bad. 82 is not bad. So yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to check in on that, since that's their biggest pay-per-view of the year. So let's look at some stuff closer to home, shall we? And let's start with some bad news. WWE have snaked Big T Justice away from us. So Big T Justice is currently down in RevPro. He is the hired muscle of Kez Evans. And yep, WWE came in and signed him to an exclusive contract, and he'll be reporting to NXT UK in a few weeks. A bit surprised, I suppose. He is a big guy. He is a heavyweight. He is a brawler. I suppose he suits the WWE superstar mold. Not particularly charismatic. We have signed Adrian Severe? Is it Severe? Severe? He's Italian. It could be Severe. To come in immediately to the main roster. This was recommended by Mark. Is it Geiger or Gager? I don't think it's Geiger. Is it? By Mark. We'll just leave it at Mark. I did see he was a free agent or on the indies. But other than maybe sign him with Axel Tischer or Axel Dieter Jr. or Walter or Timothy Thatcher and partner him up with one of the Imperium or Ring Kampf guys. But they're all still in WWE. But looking at his stats, he is very solid. Like, very, 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 very few flaws to his game. So yeah, I'm going to bring him in. He's going to have his similar gimmick to his NXT 2.0, which is like the kind of like a model, He's called, like, I think it was like classified as like world class sportsman. So he'll have that gimmick coming in. And yeah, I don't think he's going to move mountains. He will be a very good, solid mid-carder, I think, for us. And who knows, if any of the other guys do leave WWE, we can start Ring Kampf in NPW. Crazy Mary Dobson is in the middle of renegotiating. I think it'd be silly not to bring her in. We've invested a lot of time, and she's proven to be pretty good. Probably an upper mid-carder in our women's division. But the real news is Billie Kay. We had discussed this previously. She was leaving WWE. I wasn't sure if I was going to sign her, but then I thought of like the perfect position for her, and that is as the manager of the Velocities. I know she isn't the manager, but we can obviously talk to her and let her be one. I think her charisma is very strong. 77, 70 and 65 for acting. And her skills are obviously very good as well. Yeah, I think she'll kind of be a good mid-carder for our women's division as a wrestler, but she will also be a fantastic manager for the Velocities, who are not very good on the mic. So the plan would be to kind of bring her in. She'll kind of do like her whole hire Jessie McKay shtick that she was kind of doing towards the end of her tenure in WWE. She will be given a trial or something by Conor McGregor. She'll then try and buddy up with the Velocities, you know, knowing that they're the champs and can maybe get her a permanent job. She'll then kind of feud probably with Tenille Dashwood in regards to that, and then the Velocities will be like, yo, beat Tenille, and then yeah, you can be our manager, or you can hang around with us or whatever. The reason why I think she fits is obviously she's Australian, and that's kind of what her like in with like the Velocities will be like, hey, my Outback Attack brethren, what is up? And then that's why Tenille Dashwood will play a part as well. And Tenille's just going to call her a loser. You know, why would you want a loser hanging around with you instead of when you have a winner like me? But yeah, I think it'll fit her in nicely. Hopefully there's no bad chemistry or anything like that, but all in all, a good mid-card bunch of the pack wrestler for the women's division. So yeah, that's really it. All the news covered. What you missed since you last been here covered. Nothing really left then but to book the show, so let's do that, shall we? And we are back, coming at you from a generic venue in Scotland. It is Thursday Night Wanted. I had far too many angles on this show, unfortunately. Had to drop 2 to the pre-show. including a Cody promo, which could rank quite highly because Cody Rhodes is a good talker. But yeah, we'll have to see how this all pans out. Probably once we turn a medium size, which is soon-ish, then I'll maybe look at making one to 2 hours. I think that's more than plenty. Don't need no 3 hours for a weekly show. Just saying, WWE. So backstage promo, Cody is talking to Jen when Joe Henning interrupts and says he should go back to AEW and that he's not welcome here. Cody says, look, how about this? Instead of going back to AEW, how about I kick your ass tonight? And the match is set. And that's it. 60 rated segment. Then in another backstage pre-show angle, Kings of Wrestling approach CCK about their number one contendership match tonight against the Grizzled Young Vets and tell them that, look, if the other members of the Prestige try to get involved tonight, they will stop them. 53 rated segment. Then in a pre-show matchup, Kelly Ray defeated Riho, Debbie Keitel and Rachel Ellering. Rachel with a 41, Riho a 54, Debbie a 51 and Kaylee Ray a 55. This is just to give Kaylee Ray a little bit of momentum since she is going to have a gimmick change soon. Then on to the main show. Out in the ring are agents and referees and security, and in between AJ Styles and Kenny Omega, who is in each corner of the ring, just so things don't get physical. Kenny says he gets why AJ's pissed. He felt the matter was squashed in their last match, and all he had to do was accept the sign of respect from Kenny. If you remember, Kenny offered AJ the 2 Sweet, and AJ responded by kicking Kenny square in the balls. AJ says he doesn't want Kenny's respect, he wants revenge. The clock is ticking for AJ in his career, and he knows that. And he's going to make damn sure he gets what everyone deserves before he retires. And this is what we discussed previously with AJ, is that his kind of running theme during his Notorious run is going to be righting the wrongs of his wrestling career. So Kenny kicking him out of the Bullet Club, Nick Aldis kicking him out of TNA. Conor McGregor sets a Iron Man match at the upcoming Keep Her Lit pay-per-view, and once the contract is signed, they brawl, because they are it always has to end their brawl. No matter how many people they have in the ring as security, they still fight. All in all, 78, which is good. Next up, in a number one contenders match for the tag team titles, Lycos Jim defeat Grizzled Young Vets. Gibson a 59, Drake a 60, Kid Lycos a 62, Junior a 62, and Lycos a 65. All in all, a 65 in the match. Man, our tag division's really good. Like, they're really good. Holy crap. So during this match, Aldis and Reese would try to interfere. However, Kings of Wrestling would then run them off, as promised. Next up then, Rhia O'Reilly and Martina defeat Debbie Keitel and Nicole Matthews. Just realised I had Debbie pulling double duty. Whoops. Martina 50, Rhia O'Reilly a 49, Nicole a 49, Debbie a 50, all in all 53, which is good. Then post-match, Jamie Hayter comes out and says, I'm sure you're very proud of yourselves. You were able to use the numbers advantage and get a win over me. You can stop patting yourselves on the back, because this time I brought backup. And B. Priestley comes in through the crowd and lays out both women with a chair, and Oedo Tai pose over the fallen faces. 53 rated segment, which is good. So yes, Oedo Tai officially formed in Notorious. Yep, so this month then, it's Oedo Tai versus Martina and Rhia O'Reilly at the pay-per-view. And that'll be the big blow-off match. Next up, in an exceptional match, Cody Rhodes defeats Joe Henning. Cody with a 71, which is phenomenal, and Joe with a 57, which is good. All in all, a 67 rated match, which is brilliant. Post-match then, Joe attacks Cody, and Ricky Knight Jr. runs out to make the save. Cody then thanks Ricky, and they have a moment, not like a weird way, but they share a look, and they will be facing each other at the pay-per-view at the end of the month. Backstage then, Grizzled Young Vets, who are still hurting from their loss earlier, say that the Kings of Wrestling are relics of the past, and they're going to bury them at the pay-per-view. All in all, a 48 rated promo. And then in our main event, Kenny Omega defeated Kip Sabian in 1804. after Kip is distracted by Natalya getting revenge against Vicky Haskins at ringside. Kenny with a 76, Kip with a 61, a managerial bonus for Kip and Vicky, and 73 overall, which is freaking unbelievable. I said Kip was probably up main event status. 61 is definitely main event, and he definitely held his own with Kenny. So yeah, although I don't think we'll ever be putting the title on him, or definitely no time soon, Kip is definitely a main eventer. 73, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, so there is no news then coming out of the tapings. You guys are not going to be back for a good while. You aren't going to be back for the pay-per-view. It's a pretty paint by numbers pay-per-view, to be honest. The next time you guys actually might be back could be actually a RevPro episode. Maybe July week 2. Just because it's the continuation of the Great British Tag League. And then after that, you probably won't be back then until the Go Home show for the King's Back pay-per-view, so not until about the end of July. So a big break, but a good chance for us to gain some momentum, for me to book as strong as possible. So the next time you guys get back, we will maybe be one step closer to that all-important medium size. Since I'm talking about it, we'll maybe take a look at our progress. So 59 is what we need in Ireland, and 35 in Scotland to be classified as medium. So Scotland, realistically, if we continue our current momentum, we should be there in 7 months for Scotland, but we do jump up sometimes 2 at a time, so it could be shorter. And then still looking like 10 months for our homeboys in Ireland. But again, that's why we're seeing bigger time skips in between our episodes. It's because sometimes you just kind of get into the momentum, and I want you guys to be here for the big moments. And sometimes big moments just aren't happening. Sometimes you're just booking week to week, month to month, and you have no debuts, no turns, storylines just keep going, trucking along. But say once we kind of get the medium size, I'll probably be looking to sign some of our talents to exclusive deals, start doing house shows, and extend Wanted to 2 hours. And then our pay-per-views up to about 30. But that is it for another week. If you have any ideas for storylines, feuds, tag teams, or signings, like with Adrian, I'm going to call him Severay. I know it's not right, but fuck it. Leave them in the comments and I will try and do it or book it for you. And with all that being said, I will see you next time on Bash Bros.